my darlings. Love of my life. How are you all doing? I hope you are doing well. And I'm going to try to, you know how I have to adjust and that sort of thing. So anyways, hopefully that does the trick, I'm hoping. It's not fun being a floating head. Can I close that some so there's not so much of a glare? So yeah, to some degree I can. Okay. So I have my my splint off, and I'm gonna I'll be off for a sec. Sorry guys, you know this is real life. Nobody's perfect, especially me. So I have another part of a video that I'm gonna do with you, but first I want to show you my leg. So I'm a little bit flexible, so I guess I can show you. That is all the swelling. That's why it's so shiny, because it's got a lot of swelling. You can also see this is there's a plate on this side. Okay, so you got a lot of swelling here. You got a lot of swelling in the toes. One toe is not polished because I couldn't get to it. All right, so that's one side. Let's switch over and try to show you the other side without knocking everything over. Well, that's not going to work. I'm going to try to go like this. That is the other part of the leg. You can see that there's extensive swelling, discoloration. There was a plate put down here also. The foot is very, 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 very swollen. Stop it. Phone is acting ridiculous. Anyway, that's the foot. And that's the other side of the foot. Both sides have a plate. And my skin's going to be dry looking and jacked up because when you're in a splint or a cast, that's what happens. So that's nothing anybody can do about that at the present moment. Top of my foot is swollen. Everything is swollen. So that's the way it goes. I will be in my boot, which is this little lovely number. I will be in that until the 20th of next month. So there's no weight bearing. This little gadget right here is, if you press on that, it pumps air into the bottom part of the cast where my ankles are, in case I want air in there to give my foot some more extra support. If I don't want to take the air out, I press on this little number right here. So this is like super high tech compared to the boot I used to have back in the day when I broke my foot. Because back in the day, boy, that was, yeah, that was that particular boot looked nothing like that one. Okay, it looks similar to it, but you know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over part of Sexual Life Lessons Part 2, because I never did do a Part 2 and didn't realize I didn't do a Part 2. So this is directed at men. Being ignorant is not a gender-specific thing. Being narcissistic, sociopathic, none of that is a gender-specific personality trait. But I'm just addressing men with this particular content. So, men who expect sex right away, just because other women are doing that, it's ridiculous. Be honest about what you're looking for. Stop lying, because we will find out, obviously. So, if you just want to get laid, why don't you just be honest about that? Stop lying. Stop lying. And I'm going to address women for a second here. And I've made a lot of mistakes myself, so don't ever get the impression that I'm sitting on my throne and I'm telling little peasants like you what to do, because I've made some stupid mistakes in my life, and I have learned very much from those mistakes. But if a man is honest with a woman and says, look, I just want to have a good time. I'm not trying to be tied into nobody. I'm not trying to have a relationship. So she agrees. And then she feels like if she has enough sex with him over a period of time, he will change his mind. He will not change his mind unless his heart beats him over the head with emotions, which is highly unlikely because men don't see sex the way women do. So stop feeling like, well, I know what he said, but you're setting yourself up when you do that 9 times out of 10. But yeah, guys, just be honest about what you want. Stop lying. I want to, grow old with somebody. I want to walk on the beach holding hands. I want us to grow old together, knowing damn well he's lying. All he wants to do is smash. Come on, people. Just be honest. Maybe she just wants to smash too. You never know. But stop lying. Because when you keep pressing and pressing and pressing, it's obvious that everything, all the fluff that you said is just that, fluff. All right? Let's see. And let's see, everyone, we're going to find out that you're lying. Men who complain about how women just want a free meal. I cannot begin to tell you how many times I've seen this online, how many times guys have said that. I'm not trying to hear that. And I'll tell you why. First of all, every woman doesn't want your money. Let me repeat that. Every woman does not want your money. Secondly, come up with dates that are creative but inexpensive. Coffee dates, walking on the boardwalk, a picnic by the lake. None of this will send you to the poorhouse. If you suspect that a woman is money hungry, drop her before the date. Okay? So far as walking on a boardwalk, I'll tell you a quick story about that. There's a lady, Lisa Eldridge, and she is a professional makeup artist, and she has done makeup on celebrities, and she's amazing, and she's on YouTube, and she's phenomenal. She gives us free pointers on makeup. She's just amazing. And she was talking about when her grandparents met each other, and she was basically saying, don't do anything new before you go on a date, like try this new vitamin or this new skin cream or this new whatever, because you don't know how your body's going to respond to it. So the grandmother had taken an elixir, which is something you usually take, as far as I know, internally. I don't know if it was vitamin elixir. I don't really know what it was, but she took that, and the first date she went on with her eventual husband, they had a romantic walk on a boardwalk, and that just sounds really great. The only problem is they were out in the sun, and whatever she had ingested doesn't react well with the sun, and she broke out all over her skin. Her skin just freaked out. Unlike the men of today who will run in a quick second for any reason, trivial or otherwise, he did not run. She eventually probably told him, yeah, I took in this elixir and I think my skin's flipped out. He thought she was interesting enough to go on another date with. Fast forward to the future, they eventually got married and all was well. So yeah, nowadays guys will drop you in a heartbeat. I don't like the way you part your hair. I'm out. Because they think the grass is greener on the other side. Until they get there. And then they're like, dang, these women just want to use me. I could have told you that, but hey, hop over there if you think you want to. Be original and lose the misogynistic attitude. Oh my God, I cannot. I wish I had a $20 bill for every single time I've seen misogynistic comments made about women online. These bitches this, these bitches that. And I'm like, hold it. That could be the reason you don't have a date. Because you see women as the B word. And until you lose that funkified attitude, you will not be getting any more dates. Or dates, period, until you lose the attitude. I mean, go to therapy. If you're that messed up to where you can't stand women, that's not a turn on. Women don't want to go out with guys like that. Okay, and along with the misogynistic attitude, I'm getting warm. I should have turned the fan on. Along with the misogynistic attitude is the overwhelming desire to control. And I know women have that problem too, but we're addressing men right now. I'm going to tell you how to walk, how to talk, how to wear your makeup, why do you put your makeup on like that? Why do you walk like that? Why do you talk like that? Why do you why do you hold your fork like that? Yes, I dealt with someone like that. Why don't you put the lid on the ketchup like this when you're done using it? I'm not kidding. OCD, it reminds me of Sleeping with the Enemy, dealing with that particular person. He wasn't a person, he was a demon, let's just be honest. And we won't go into details about that unless you guys want details about that. He was a demon, he was a demonic force, and I'm not joking, I'm serious. So lose the control. And women are getting smarter and smarter and smarter thanks to YouTube and life coaches and that kind of thing, where they are being taught he's not your father. He don't need to be telling you what to do, how to do it, when, why, what time, where you at, blowing up your phone 50 million times. And look at here. No, she's not your kid. She's not your daughter. Okay. You are not her father. You do not tell grown ass people what to do. If something that she does is that repulsive to you, then you tell her, baby, this isn't working out. I mean, I'm sorry to say, you seem like a really nice person, but this just isn't going to work out for me for whatever reason. But you're a control freak because you have something wrong with you. And I'm not being mean and I'm not being funny. Something is seriously wrong with you. I don't know if you were raised like that or if your father was like that. I don't know what the deal is, but it's got to stop because women are getting smarter and smarter and smarter and they're developing a stronger self-esteem and they're not going to tolerate that anymore. And I'm going to address women for a split second and stop making excuses for him because he's fine. Well, I know he talked to me crazy and whatnot, but he's so fine, girl. Look, look, you got to let that go because your life's going to be a living hell because your mindset is not in the right place. And men, since we're talking mostly about men right now, you don't need to be controlling anybody and you don't need to be dealing with anybody who's controlling. So it works both ways for both genders, okay? I know of somebody who his wife does not allow him to use his cell phone. And if he does use his cell phone to call friends, he has to be on the phone for a time limit. I am not joking. Look at my face. Do I look like I'm joking to you? I'm not. You don't tell grown ass people how long they can be on their cell phone or when and if they can be on their cell phone. Excuse me? But he allows it, so it's gonna freaking continue. People do what you let them do. And until you stop it, it's going to continue. If they don't stop, you dump them. It's just as simple. Divorce from them or whatever. And stop rushing to get married. There's no rush. This isn't a race. Take your damn time. Because when you say I do, you don't know what you just did. Okay? A person will flip on you in a heartbeat. Okay. Many of y'all despise women. We're back to this misogyny. Many of y'all despise women, so you use and abuse them. Some of y'all are angry at women because you're either narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic, or get ready, you're on the down low. And you're angry because you can't express your real you because you're afraid you may lose your job, or your family is religious and they don't play that game, or you could lose your friends. You could lose too much if people were to know who you truly really are. So you date women, but you can't stand that because that is not who you truly are, and that's not who you really want to be connected to. So you take it out on the women. But that's also a character flaw too. That tells me something is also wrong with you mentally or psychologically because you don't abuse somebody because you're lost. That doesn't give you permission to abuse other people. All right? There's no excuse for that. Reconcile your issues with yourself and live the life you feel is you. If you hate your mother, therapy would be a good start for you. Don't poison other people with your psychological BS. Therapy is nothing to be ashamed of. Let me repeat that. Especially in the communities where people have brown skin, whether it's Mexican or Indian or black or Puerto Rican or whatever, brown skin, period, therapy is considered taboo and you should be ashamed if you want to do that, and you have to be stronger than that, and that's embarrassing, and you're just going to have to man up or woman up, and that, you know what, take that and throw it out the window, because that's ridiculous and it's stupid, and that's the reason people commit suicide, homicide, and every damn thing else. Okay, overdose on pills and everything, because they needed to do what they needed to do and they were talked out of it, and their life got worse and they just spiraled out of control. So let's lose the taboo of therapy. Let's just get rid of that altogether, because it's absolutely ridiculous. You don't go to therapy because you're nuts. You go to therapy to prevent from being nuts. And if you do have a significant problem, the best place for you to be is in therapy. Let's lose the shame and the embarrassment. Let's just lose that, because it's dumb. Okay. Here's another thing. All right. Men have to realize that many men want us. We can't even walk by construction workers without harassment. Can I have some fries with that shake? Yeah, dudes say that. I'm not kidding. All right. Many of us have been targeted for our bodies. That shouldn't be a surprise to you. Rape, molestation, whatever it is. And there's no age limit on that type of predatory behavior directed at little girls, babies, even little girls and women. So if you want a woman's attention, you have to be unique. Stand out in the crowd. Don't be a horn dog. We get gawked at and deal with males hunting for us all the time. Be different. Be man enough to be different. Stand out in a crowd, because every other guy is going, we're sick of that. We're damn sick of it. Honestly. So you need to be unique. You need to go on a date with somebody and you need to take her, I don't know, maybe they're having a special for horseback riding. Maybe you both are outdoors people and you've always wanted to hike a certain area. Go hiking, pack lunches and go hiking. Be different. Don't approach with your wang in your hand, because everybody does that. Okay? And then when she gets turned off by you, you don't know why. Keep your wang to yourself, okay? Because it's not about that. That's the reason why people are getting married and getting divorces. They used to love that person. Now they hate them, because their relationship was built on having sex and it was built on hormones. You don't have a solid relationship when it's built on hormones. Are you freaking kidding me right now? You don't have anything if it's built on physical, because that fades. All that sex you had in the beginning, if you were to sustain that through your whole life, your whole relationship, you would die of a freaking heart attack. So obviously, it has to fade down. But if that's all you had, your relationship is doomed. Now you can't stand that person because you're not getting a buzz off of them anymore. You're not getting a high off of them anymore. Well, right. Because you didn't build your relationship on a foundation. It's like a house. When you build a house, you build it on a foundation, right? You don't put it on soft sand or soft dirt. You have to put a cement foundation, right? So the house can stand. Relationships are the same way. If it's not built on solid ground, it's going to sink. All right, people? All right. Be different. Don't be like everybody else. And this goes into what I'm saying too. Stop letting your pecker control you. You are supposed to have a lot more control over your desire. I encourage males to relieve themselves sexually before you go on a date, since many of y'all lack sexual self-control. Stop acting like a horny 15-year-old. We expect a teenager to do that We expect that out of a teenager because they're a kid. They don't know any better. They're basing everything off of hormones. You, on the other hand, are supposedly an adult, and you want to jump between someone's drawers like now, today. What's the god dang freaking rush? What's the rush? Are her lady bits gonna evaporate within a week of you meeting her? What is wrong with you? And the thing of it is, and I've said this for years, you don't want nobody disrespecting your daughter, but you're going to run around disrespecting other people's daughters. And yes, every woman you trying to get with, that's somebody's damn daughter. But if somebody does it to your daughter, you're going to be like, oh, I'll get my shotgun. I don't play that. I'll blow somebody's head off. Oh, no, you will not, because you're doing the same damn thing. Hypocrite. You don't want her to be used, but you want to use other people's daughters. I want you to freaking think about that. Seriously, I want you to seriously think about the logic of that. And if all you have to worry about being with somebody is the physical, you're pretty shallow anyway. You're shallow. You don't have anything else to offer. And if you don't have anything else to offer, there's no interest on her side for you. Because she can get that from anybody. And I've said this, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If I want to get laid, baby, all I got to do, dress nice, smell good, look halfway decent, and I could bring somebody home or go to their house in probably 20 minutes to a half an hour. And I'm not saying that because I'm so drop dead gorgeous. I'm just saying that because it's a reality. When you're a female, somebody wants up in there. That's just the way nature rolls. Okay? And just because you want it, that doesn't mean you should do it. Of course you want to get with her. But if you mess around, you're going to go for the gold too fast, and she's going to lose interest in you, and you're going to be like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And a lot of y'all were raised differently. You were raised to respect women, but you following what every other knucklehead is doing. Don't copy what other people are doing. Like they said back in the day, your parent, can I do such and such? So-and-so's doing it. And your parent would say, well, if so-and-so jumps off a bridge, are you going to jump too? It's the same mentality. Don't copy what everybody else is doing. And stop being so hot in the drawers. My God. I understand that testosterone makes you hot and keeps you hot. But I also understand that you have an intellectual capacity to control yourself. And if you can't control yourself, whoop out your phone, look at some grown-up movies or whatever the hell you got to do, self-pleasure, before you go on a date, so that you don't have to have that as an only focus. You know what I mean? You can focus on her and what she's saying. And you better listen to what she's saying too. You better stop focusing on your pants and focus on the head up here. Because listen to what she's saying. Is she a good person? Is she a criminal? Is she a fugitive? Does she have a violent temper? Does she have custody of her kids? And if she doesn't have custody, why not? Is she mentally stable? Y'all better look at something besides between somebody's freaking legs and focus on other things. Men have been killed because they couldn't focus on something else. The woman promised, that I told you guys a long time ago or a while back, whatever it is. The guy is in his 20s. She promised him, they met online. She promised him the sun, the moon, and the stars. And he was really eager to do it, of course, because that's how they do. That's how men do. And not all men, but that's how a lot of men do. And he met up with her and she robbed and killed him. And he was a father of a young child. Ain't nobody's butt worth dying for. Your sexual desire is not worth being killed for. What's in your pocket is not worth being killed for. Just because you had, you're going to run over there because she promised you everything. Men are so easy that way. And if a woman's trying to ambush you, she didn't have to set the trap for you. You dove head first into the trap. Come on, use some common sense. Use this instead. And a lot of y'all, we're going to go there today. We're going to go there. A lot of guys online are part of MGTOW and they hate women and women are bitches and women are this. Shut that up. Because a lot of y'all, the reason, first of all, if you got married and you didn't know when you got a divorce that the law's on her side automatically, you stupid. You stupid. You better talk to your homeboys or some of their homeboys and find out how the law works when you get a divorce, and stop rushing into a divorce, because you could be next. Okay? But y'all got stuck on, she's so beautiful. You got stuck on, she sexes you so good, you could barely get to work the next day because your legs are still quivering. Okay? You get stuck on the wrong damn things. And then when she turns into she actually reveals who she truly is. And then you get married to her because she's gorgeous and she's a sex goddess and she just gives me everything I want. She could cook her butt off and she could. You're looking at superficial stupidness. None of that is going to guarantee long term. None of that's going to guarantee long term. So you better look at something other than she's beautiful and she lays me. Because she could be a total and complete nut job, and she can make your life a living hell. These are the type of women that can make grown men cry, and I'm not kidding. And she'll take your kids away, and the law's like, oh well, lay your paycheck on the counter, honey, because you're done. You're gonna pay her everything you working overtime, but she gonna get some of that too. All she got to do is say, well, he's making more money. Well, good. We can award you more money. A lot of times, not every state is the same way. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of men got caught up in superficial, sex goddess, looks good. She laughs at my jokes. She makes me feel so amazing. And then when you get married, everything she did to hook you, she quits doing. Because you were looking at the wrong things. Women have done it too, but we're talking about men. So calm down. Okay? Calm down. I don't want you to be hotter. I want you to be smarter. I want you to make better choices and to stop crying online about how your ex-wife did this, that, and the other. And a lot of men that are complaining about that were misogynistic. A lot of them are abusive. But they figure they're not gonna tell that part. They're just gonna say she was wicked to me, she was evil, she's a bee, she's a she controls the kids, I can't even see them. What did you do to her? Because a lot of times narcissists, in particular, sociopaths, whatever, a lot of times they don't say what they did. I used to slap her around, knock her downstairs. I've talked about this in other videos. You don't say what you've done to her, that you did psychological terrorism. You don't talk about that, because you could destroy someone on psychological alone. Okay? So, come on now. You got to make better choices and stop making choices based on frivolous, superficial things that have no longevity. Okay? I encourage men to respond to this video. And I don't mean in a misogynistic way. Don't be a butthead, because I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm just letting you know right out the gate. Act like you got some sense and we can discuss it. I am not on, I'm not on women's side just because I happen to be a female. If she's a psycho, I'm going to tell you she's a psycho. And I've said that in other videos too. And I have told guys, there was one guy, believe it or not, if you're on a dating site, and I used to be on dating sites, and it's nothing but trash, and all of them are narcissistic or horn dogs, liars, manipulators, criminals, alcoholics. I mean, it's overrun with predators and people that are not decent. And they've worn out their welcome where they live, so they're going to recruit new victims, okay? Anyway, I've told guys, I told this one, believe it or not, I actually counseled men that I didn't go out with on the date that have had a history of issues with women. And I've counseled them. And I never thought in a million years that I would be in a position where I'm doing that. But you never know where you're going to be placed and when and for what purpose. You just never know. I mean, you could just be standing outside waiting for a bus or a train one day and you have a heart-to-heart with a complete stranger. Obviously, that conversation was meant to be for you all to be where you are at that given time, at that particular day. It was meant to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, anyway, there was one guy that told me that his wife was not only abusive, but she was mentally and verbally abusive to him. And he didn't have enough money to get out. And I said, you need to save money and you need to save it now. She got to the point where when they had family reunions or family get-togethers, she would cuss him out in front of family. She don't care. Okay? And for people who are abusive, normally they try to hide it in front of your family because they don't want your family going, what is wrong with your wife? Okay, no. She's lost her mind up in here. I'm not gonna let her talk to you like that. You're my brother. I'll cuss her out. Don't get involved. That's my wife. I don't care. That's you, my brother. So the next thing you know, it's a big deal. And people are going after each other's throats. And I said it's just a matter of time before she gets physical with you. You need to save your money, and you need to save it now. And you don't tell her that you're saving the money. You don't do that. You don't have a guy friend to live with in the meantime? He's like, no. I said, you better figure something out because I'm telling you right now, I got to move my foot. It's not happy. You better figure something out because it's only a matter of time before she gets physical. Abuse never declines. It always escalates. Regardless of the gender, it always escalates. And you need to know that. You need to be aware of that. People have gotten hurt behind that. People have gotten killed behind that. So when the warnings are there, she's no longer Miss Perfect. She's being a real snit for no reason. That's something that you need to be aware of, and you need to get your behind out of the situation and stop being in a rush to have children with people, because if you need to leave her because she's revealing who she is, you better hold off on having kids with her unless you want to be in a position where you're like everybody else. She took my money. I had to pay all this money in child support. And we got a divorce behind her. Blah, blah, blah. Take your time having kids with somebody. Slow down. Slow your roll. Because you don't want to be in a lion's den and you don't want to be eaten alive by the so-called legal system. You don't want that. And every state is not the same. I know there's a lawyer I saw on YouTube who is a female, and she is a lawyer for men to make sure that her client does not get, yanked by the system when they have a divorce. I don't remember what state that was in, so I apologize. So that shows that not every state is the same and not all laws are the same. But slow your roll on doing permanent things with somebody, and having a kid with somebody is a permanent thing. And you don't want to get locked into a situation where you're miserable miserable forever. And she's playing the kid against you, and kid doesn't want to see you on the weekends. They're supposed to see you because she done told the kid how horrible you are, But if you were horrible, well, then what did you expect? But if you're not horrible, that's the type of thing that women do. They also do, I want you to tell the courts that your father was touching you inappropriately, touching your private areas. I want you to tell the court that. Women will resort to that out of desperation because they're desperate to be in control, lying, shedding tears in the courtroom.